the fuck is going on? Oh, this thing's screwed up big time. I don't know, guys. I'm trying to get on this StreamYard. Having a ton of issues. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. If you can't hear me, because I'm comment or something. I know I only got 4 people on YouTube channel. Facebook Live and StreamYard are not talking to each other, which affects myself. So if you're on, let me know. Otherwise, I can't. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I got one comment. I can hear you fine, but you don't see any pictures. Or all I see in front of me is Friday Night Front Stretch. You guys just can't hear me, right? I mean, you can hear me, but you can't see me. Is this correct? How about seeing me? Can you see myself talking? Well, anyway, okay. So anyway, guys, I'm having a ton of trouble with StreamYard and Facebook not getting along with each other. Apparently, Facebook changed something up June 10th, which I did not know. And unfortunately, I can't invite guests. I can't even get my co-host Chuck Burnley on. This is just something that StreamYard, I kind of try to contact StreamYard. All they want to do is talk to you by email, which is generic, or a bot. So, and I don't even think I can even get on. So basically, guys, I'm not paying $25 a month to host StreamYard if we continue to have this kind of trouble, because about 90% of my viewers are on Facebook, and it will not allow me to get on Facebook. So with that being said, and I don't know, I don't even know why I'm on the email. Let me try this one here. Okay, now can you see me? I think you can see me now. I'm on. Let's go ahead and go with the comments here. We need to hire a 12-year-old gamer to help out with technical issues. That's Chuck. Yep. I can see you now. Yep. Okay, guys. Anyway, make a long story short, about 4 weeks ago when I hosted the first event, I got somehow, for whatever reason, I got on Facebook jail. And I got kicked off of Facebook for about 3 days. It finally came back on. Now I can still post on YouTube, which I was new to YouTube because I just don't post on YouTube. I'm 65 years old, ugly as ever. Thanks. It's called working full time, which you would know, Dennis. But anyway, so I don't post on YouTube because I'm old. I don't know how to do YouTubes, but I decided to try YouTube, and unfortunately, it came on when I wasn't around. I know Gaskies were saying, "Well, you're on," and I go, "Well, no, I'm not." So anyway, we're going to try to do a different type of service. So we can get with Facebook and another streaming service. I'm going to have to do some research. This was kind of thrown on my lap last night. I know me and Chuck worked on it for about an hour, and I was down in the basement most of the night trying to figure out how to make this work, and I can't. YouTube is the only thing that is accepting this live streaming service. And, you know, and the sad thing about it with StreamYard, I really like the what you could do with the banners, with videos, introduction, music, whatever you want to do. I really like that. But you know, if 90% of my audience or 95% of my audience is on Facebook, and I can't even go on Facebook or even invite anybody, excuse me, the service is useless. StreamYard don't do a thing for me. It used to be you can contact StreamYard, you get somebody to help you. Now you get a bot, and the bot would tell you 5 different things to look at. Well, that don't do me no good. I want answers, and I think that's what's happening in our world. Is you can't get hold of people to talk to anybody. It's all dial 1, push this, push number 2, push number 3. You know, there's just no service in this world. And now, since we're all going to all these AIs and bots, you know, it's just, but it's all over. Every company is doing that anymore, it seems like. So with that being said, I got off my soapbox real quick, guys. Unfortunately, we don't have Brandon Stevens on tonight, but we will talk about Brandon just a little bit. But we do have some news coming down the line. If you guys notice that, you know, let's see here. Let me see if this will work. Let's see if this works. As you know, Traxxas made an announcement about the new Slash vehicle coming out. It's a kind of like a modified, and I've listened to some other podcasts when this came out here this past week. And I've listened to other podcasts, and I was listening to Michael Pruitt. Pruitt has a face. He goes on live every now and then about RC tips. And his discussion this week was on this new Traxxas Mud Boss. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but Mike Pruitt really kind of taught me a little bit that he said it's good for the sport. Oh man, this thing is so screwed up. It's good for the sport to have a car like this, but where do you put it at? What class does it go outside of being its own class? Do you put it in the short course? It's a 12T brushless motor with the ESC. I think it's, don't quote me, but I thought it was 329 for the car, radio and everything. Has its own block tires. It's considered a B mod on Traxxas, and there's a lot of guys kind of fired up about it. Traxxas calling it a B mod. They don't know what class to really put it in. Some talked about put it in with the short course. Some put it on with the B mod class. It's just starting out. So I'm going to be curious. This 379, Chuck. Okay, great. No battery or charger. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured too. So Mike Pruitt was on there, and he says, you know, guys, it's a great, you know, he said I wouldn't get one, but he says it's good for the sport. It's good for the hobby stores to sell. It's another way of getting people in to another class, like a beginner's class of some sort, or somebody who doesn't want to dump a lot of money in 10 scales. He says the only problem that he sees is if it's going to be a separate class, it's just an add-on. And then they don't know if it's going to be competitive with the short course or B mods itself. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious. I'm not going to go out and run out there and buy one. That's for sure. But it's going to be interesting to see what tracks around the country, these 10 scale tracks around the country, how they're going to adopt it. I noticed Hobbyplex has got them for sale now. So, yeah. So that was a kind of a big storyline at the moment coming out of Traxxas. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. And I do like the body style. I really do. I mean, I like cars that look like a real race car, whether it's a 10 scale, quarter, fifth, whatever. So, and this is going to be a short night tonight, guys, because it's kind of hard to talk by yourself. That's why I have Chuck. Chuck, man, I miss you, Chuck. I wish you were on with me, and I wish I got to talk to Dennis or Brandon. The next one coming down on the news I read was RC Chili Bowl is actually going to have Mud Bosses racing during their event, right before their event. I think that's, the Mud Boss class is getting really popular. And Steve, is it Scotty Ernst, I think is his name, that runs the RC Chili Bowl down in Texas, or Oklahoma, I mean. He finally made an announcement that they're going to have the Mud Boss prior to the big RC Chili Bowl that they normally have every year. So that tells me that this Mud Boss, Salveless Mud Boss and stuff is getting pretty popular out there. You can see it. When we had our first Mud Boss race in October of last year, we had 26 cars on this big track. So, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm assuming they're going to have a good event down there. Let's see. Willem Gaskin. Word on the street, Hobbyplex dumped the Mud Boss for the new Traxxas car. Yeah, okay, there you go. Which I don't know. With Hobbyplex, I think the only cars they run is kind of like a street stock design with a lower center of gravity. I think Mike Soltel has one. I haven't been to Hobbyplex for a while, so I don't know exactly what they run. I know Jensen runs the Mud Boss. I think Money Lap Racing needs to go to the Chili Bowl and drive Mud Bosses. Chuck Burnley said that. Yeah, I didn't run Mud Bosses anyway, so I don't know what they're dropping besides what Saltow ran for a while. Let's post some stuff here. StreamYard is really... Hobbyplex didn't run the Mud Boss anyway. Gasky says you just may do it. So they might run down to the Chili Bowl. Now, this guy here, is this Craig Boldy? Yeah, it is. I see his picture there. I bought the stock in Mud Boss. Yeah, good deal because Mud Bosses are pretty popular. So that's kind of the news coming down. The last news, and this is something that we've been working on for a while. This has been gone in my head if you're here at the racetrack, here at Outlaw Raceway Park. And I've been approached by different drivers throughout the last couple of years, probably, to build a 10 scale track here at Outlaw Raceway Park. I've been in contact with Dennis Stevens here the past spring, along with Jamie Sabine. I decided we've got the infrastructure put in, so to do a 10 scale track. And I will post a picture here and kind of give everybody an idea what we're planning. This is an overview look from Google Earth. This is the best I can do. Where the track will sit. It would incorporate the front stretch. It'll go past the light pole. It'll be on the west side of the light pole, merge into turn 4 and come out of turn 1. Dennis is going to come out Saturday. We're going to measure it to see how much clay we're going to haul in. It's the same stuff that we currently have now. I talked to Jimmy the other day and with Big Red Drainage, and he's going to measure out area for drains, because we do have a drainage issue, especially coming out of turn 1. And we need a better drain anyway. So this will kind of come in handy. Let's see what the comments are. But I've been kicking around this idea. Oh man, StreamYard, man, your guys are just pissing me off right now. It just won't kick in. God damn StreamYard. Anyway, we got in a discussion about doing this with some drivers. They said, well, if you build it, we'll come. Yeah, white sand is awesome now. It'll be that clay that we run. Can't wear a thank you. I was thinking the Speedo with MLR Racing on it. Who's MLR? Let's see. Money Lap Racing. Oh, okay. I got it. Just dawned on me. Watching Alex do an unboxing. I bet they run them at the Plex last year. That's from one of the Zelazny family. So anyway, we're thinking about doing it. This year is going to be more of a beta testing year, trying to get the bugs worked out of it. As you notice, you're coming down where the driver's stand is. That's to be the front stretch. You're going into 1 and 2 there, or going into 1 and 2, which is turn 1 of Outlaw, down the straightaway. It'll be about 12 to 15 foot wide going into the corner. It's going to have a little bit of banking in the back stretch, but we've got to be careful how to merge into turn 4 and coming out of turn 1, so you're not jumping in, because turn 4 and turn 1 does have banking in it. I don't know. We're going to try it. We've got the infrastructure. I mean, we got the scoring loop, we've got the driver stand, we've got the lights, we got great parking for the 10 scale guys. I think it's something that can be used here in the southeast part of Nebraska. Now, I want to make one thing clear, real clear, is the fact is that I'm still a large scale driver. I have been since 1986. I enjoy large scale racing. I built this track for large scale racing, but I think there's room for on a 10 scale. Now, I will not compete against Dale. I'm not going to try to compete against Layton. They're too established. I want to work with Hackberry. I want to work with Greg Bolte on his track up by Fremont. And maybe we can get a series going between the tracks and to get Southeast Nebraska up and running for outdoor racing, because there's really nothing outside of Grand Island, or there's really nothing, or Hackberry. So hopefully we can work with all the tracks. So you see, Bolte said I have to work with MRP, Mirage Racing Park. Okay. And Greg's one that's building a track up in Fremont for 10 scale. Next year, we're going to try to incorporate 10 scale along with the large scale racing. So I think there's going to be plenty of racing in process. So guys, tell me what you think. Once we get the dirt laid in, and it won't take long, and Jimmy will come out and I'll run a trencher and we'll try to incorporate the drainage into the current drain with Outlaw. But what's your thoughts on doing this, guys? I mean, I'm not out of anything, because if nobody shows up, I can haul the dirt back to the big track, and I do need drainage anyway. So, but what's your thoughts, guys, on this? I'm gonna try to get out of here and get back to my ugly face. So, what's your thoughts, guys? I'm going to try to work with Jensen on their rules package. I do like their rules package. And I don't know anything about 10 scale, guys. Whoops. Boy, I'll tell you what, this StreamYard sucks. I hate this. They'll probably knock me off, but that's okay, because I'm going to have to cancel their service. Let's see. I'm trying to get on comments and it won't let me. Okay. Greg Bolte says, do it. Where's MRP? That'll be in Fremont, Chuck. So Lazzy said, if you build it, they will come. I hope so. Chuck will be in Fremont, MRP Fremont. Yes. So I think there's plenty of room for everybody. If we can work together, myself, Greg, and maybe Hackberry, we can have a hell of a nice little series next fall. We can even work with NASCAR up in Grand Island. Jensen needs to get their rules on the same page. I'm trying to look at the rules package with Hackberry, Jensen, Grand Island, and trying to put everything together. I know I'm going to let Muddy Lap Racing, William Gasky, let him control the Mud Boss situation on rules, because he's already doing that now. Now, that doesn't take away the Mud Bosses or even some of the short course modifieds that want to run on the big track. We'll still have our Mud Bosses out there on the big track if we want. Now, it's really important that we will not be a Cusack track when it comes to 10 scale. Okay, this will be on a separate night. The only thing I'll ask is everybody sign a waiver of liability, but most of you guys already have. New drivers who coming in have to sign a waiver of liability, and including children that are under 19, their parents have to sign that. But we're not gonna be asking for a CUSAC membership. I know it's a big thing with some people, and there's rumor going around. There's some RC large scale guys not going to be racing anymore this year or next year with us. So, and I don't know if it's because of CUSAC or what the situation is. So, let's see. Chuck says, let's see. Well, let's get some comments up here real quick, man. It's coming in fast and furious. We actually have 9 viewers on my YouTube channel. Wow, thanks, guys. MRP Fremont, very cool. I'm looking forward to getting. You need to know how to spell, Chuck, to get up there and supporting you guys. Greg Boldy comes on and says we all need to be the same. I agree. You know, I don't want to chase rules on these 10 scales because, to be honest with you guys, I don't know anything about 10 scale rules except for my little late model that I race up in Jensen, and I just watch their rules and follow with it. Zelazny says, Chuck, I believe they are on the same rules except Iowa runs a different tire. Yeah, that was a conversation that we had. I think if Dennis is on, Hackberry was talking about this new tire that GFRP comes out. Again, guys, I don't know, you know. And that's why we're going to use this summer as Betty testing. So we're going to invite some guys out. I know we got some guys coming in tomorrow night after the races to run some 10 scales. I think short course, maybe some couple sprint cars. So, you know, hopefully they'll come out tomorrow night after the races. Chuck says, awesome. That'll help with driver count as well. Greg says, your late model needs to be tagged. Well, no, it doesn't, because it is legal as far as I know of. I mean, I don't hope I didn't do any changes to it. I do enjoy racing that late model at Jensen. Surely do. So, but anyway, guys, give me your thoughts. Tomorrow night, come out if we're, you know, racing, you know, let's talk about it a little bit more. But like I said, I've got the infrastructure already built. We've got the driver stand. We've got the lights. We've got the scoring loop. We got the parking. We got the bathrooms. We got lifetime scoring. We got everything there. All we need to do is to haul the dirt in, which I think Dennis says he's going to try to get hold of that guy next week. Let's go racing. Yep. Haul some dirt in, and we might have to change the configuration a little bit. But the only way we'll know is to do some testing on it this summer and then go full blast next year. For 10 scale racing. So, but guys, I apologize on the StreamYard thing. I know Dennis says we can invite people on Facebook Live, which I might have to do that if I can't find a different streaming service. But I'm going to miss StreamYard. They've been a great, well, here over the years, they've been pretty good with banners and getting video and introduction videos. All kinds of different things, inviting guests to sit in. But I can't deal with the Facebook issue. I think ever since they went with that Meta, it just screwed things up. And I'm not going to, they said they need 100 followers, which I'm assuming is on my page, because I got 1,800 followers on Outlaw, but I've only got 18 friends on my Facebook page. And I think they wanted 100 friends. And I just don't know. I'm lucky I got 10 friends, let alone having 100. So we might have to look elsewhere. I still want to do this program. I think it's very informal. I love Chuck to come on and talk and our guests and get the information out there. But unfortunately, it's just not working out. Let's see. Dennis says, let's go racing. Greg goes, you need friends. Well, I'll be your friend if you bring my grill tomorrow night. Because we're going to go camping next week for 3 days. So William says, might need to look into OBS for streaming. You know, I've got OBS at the track where we video our camera, and it process and goes to Live RC. To me, OBS looked like it's really hard to understand. I'll look into that, you know, and maybe if you know a little bit more about it than I do, you can share it with me. Because we do stream live video at the racetrack. Now, one last thing, I forgot about that. I have notes here. We did, and Chuck, you'll be impressed with this, bud. I finally found a camera different than what we've been using for live streaming of the races on Live RC. I found one. I did some research on it. The thing that I notice when you get on live video, and I noticed this, first off, if you guys join Live RC, and I think it's like $5 a month, you can watch back videos. You just ask for it and they'll release it in, I don't know what they say, 5 to 6 hours. And then you can watch, you know, videos from 2 years ago. They used to stream in YouTube, but YouTube was asking way too much money. So they decided to just do a yearly thing. But if it's live, you can watch right from your computer or wherever you're sitting at. But I noticed that the camera, and why I didn't notice this earlier, was the camera didn't have very good low light problems. I mean, you can watch the cars, but you can't really detail the cars out. And so I've been researching cameras, and I think I finally found one. And I was worried that, unfortunately, with Amazon, I can send stuff back without question. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and buy this camera if it doesn't plug in, because I know me and Chuck worked pretty hard at one time trying to get a GoPro put in, and it was just so difficult we gave up on it. But it did accept this camera. What's nice about it, it is waterproof, so if I forget to take it down at night and it rains, I don't have to worry about spending another $67 to go buy another camera because it got wet. But anyway, so we put this camera up. It's supposed to be a low light camera. So I'm hoping you can see more detail. Now, the drawback about this camera is the old camera with Live RC was 170 degrees viewing. Means you can get the whole track. The drawback is the track looks way away from you, okay, because of the 170 degrees of view. With the new camera, it's 120 degrees view. So you're going to miss a little bit coming out of top of turn 3 and about half of turn 4. But the cars will look, from what I saw on video, looks like it's a little bit more sucked in, so you can probably see a little bit more detail. And I won't know how well it'll work under our LED lighting, but I'm anxious to try that out. So let's see. Greg says we'll be there. Yep. Okay, great. Kim will like that. Well, Kim says, why do you need another grill? I said, well, I collect grills, so there. Be quiet. William Gasky says, Cody, use it every Thursday for iRacing on YouTube. Okay, well, I'll look into that. I know there's some other streaming services, but I got to make sure, you know, okay, so StreamYard, you know, it's probably not the problem of StreamYard, it's Facebook. That's probably giving StreamYard the problem. The problem is I'm not going to pay StreamYard a bunch of money to get none of my services. So that's what boils down to. I'll be there tomorrow for a bit, okay? Chuck comes on and says, so Cody is familiar with it. Awesome. Gasky says, yep. Chuck goes, glad to hear about the new camera. Using a potato was never a good idea. Chuck gets back on. I still like to park a drone above the track for top-down viewing. You know, Don Liskey brung his drone. So talk to him. He's done some videos. He's actually flew his videos over the track and let it hover and took some videos. I know Todd Holloway at the Dirt Nationals did that one year too. It's kind of cool looking. So talk to Don Liskey because he'll have his drone out there. Greg says we have a photographer. I will ask him. Well, that'd be kind of cool. Actually, I really need it for the quarter scale nationals coming up in August. That'll be huge. Imagine what we can learn from watching from above. You know, it's surprisingly you can learn a lot. Let's see. Oh gosh, come on, guys. And speaking of quarter scale nationals, sit back and we're going to do an introductional and new sponsors. Scale Dirt Nationals. Oops. Quarter Scale Dirt Nationals coming August 14th to the 17th. We'd like to thank our new sponsor. Well, actually, we got a couple of them. B&B Seamless Gutters. Greg Boldy is coming on to sponsor the 305 Sprint Car Division. Craig, I did talk to Todd Holloway, and he said talk to me for the sponsorship money and everything because it's just going to be sent to me anyway to buy trophies with that kind of money. So, but he did design a banner for you and get your information in. The other sponsor he got was Mr. Yards and More, Dennis Stevens. He's going to sponsor the top qualifier or the TQs for that weekend. We want to thank Mr. Yards and More and B&B Gutters for stepping up to sponsor the quarter scale nationals. And guys, we've got a lot of great sponsors coming on board. Associated sponsors as well. So I think it's going to be a pretty good night. And I'm hoping we can go Facebook Live and get people on Todd Holloway and Jimmy Sabine, our last year's champion in the 360 division. So, hey guys, I don't have anything else. Like I said, it's kind of a boring night. Trying to wing this by myself. And I used to do this a long time ago, but boy, you know, Chuck Burnley coming on really makes the show go good, having special guests. So otherwise, guys, I don't see anything else. I know a drone guy, William Gasky said, Greg, that's the week after Knoxville. Thanks, I was wondering. Yeah, we try to do the nationals because I know a lot of quarter scale guys like to go to the Knoxville Nationals and so, yeah. So, guys, I don't know anything else. Again, these are just some of the things that came down the line on news, but we are trying to build a 10-scale track. The name of the track will be Bandit Speedway, kind of incorporate Outlaw Raceway Park. Hopefully we'll get it in. We'll do some beta testing on it this summer, maybe do some live racing, you know. If you guys got any suggestions about the track, get hold of myself. Dennis is going to go out and measure the track tomorrow. And Jimmy's going to measure for the where I can rent a trencher and try to get that pipe in and so we can drain the water. So, guys, tomorrow night, gates open at, 1 or 2. We're going to start hot lapping at 5, racing at 6. I know we got some weather coming in later tonight, about around 4 or 5. We can use the rain. It's pretty dry out there. I was out there earlier this afternoon working on it. Got a ton of water ruts. What's nice about this surface is it has taken my work time down in half. it is a easier thing to work with. Liskey's here in the penthouse. I don't think he's on YouTube because I don't think he knows. But we're going to try to improve the streaming service as we can, to the best of our abilities for the next time. So, but yeah, racing starts at 6 o'clock. So, hopefully everybody shows up. Going to have a good night. We're going to watch the weather forecast. That darn weather forecast kind of jumps around. 1 minute it's 78%, next minute it's 30%, next minute it's 60%. We're just going to sit back and wait. So guys, thank you for tuning in. We're going to try to do better next time. So live from Outlaw Raceway Park, keep your wheels up. No, keep your wings up and tires down. We'll see you later.